Hello, good evening. Welcome to another day on Upstreamedia's YouTube daily show. I'm Chris Hughes, your host today from Rebound. I'm really excited for the guest today. It's Bradford Dragons Andreas Lycoudis. I see sporting his Bradford Dragon colours. So that's great to see.
Yeah.
Welcome, Andreas. Hope
Hi.
you're well.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I say we were talking about the challenges and sort of keeping busy. And I'm sure there's a lot of topics we'll go into bigger detail this season. Because say it's been a mixed season of Bradford, especially with the end. It was a much better end than maybe a start, possibly. And I'd love to talk to you a bit about that. And stuff going on at the moment. We're talking about last start off air. We're going a bit about that. I thought we'd start the conversation with sort of a bit about your journey. Maybe people don't know about you, and a bit about Bradford Dragons.
Well, journey. Yeah, so sorry. My journey. Well, started off playing for Stromfield, which is right next to Sheffield. So I played for the Arrows, Sheffield Arrows, Derbyshire Arrows. Names changed quite a bit, but yeah, the Arrows as a junior, all the way up to my last under 18 year in the Premier, in the North Premier. So then I was looking at going to. I had a guy called Andrew Pinelli was helping me and having a look, see if I could go out there. But I was also looking to stay here as well and see if there was somewhere I could stay home and continue basketball to a level and same accessibilities and opportunities as I would if I went abroad. So I decided to go to Hallam, where I had access to a court all the time, training every day of the week. We had obviously books games on the Wednesdays. I had strength and conditioning with Andrew Langford. He was I think he was a GB under 20 S&C guy then, so that was good. And obviously I wanted to get a good degree out of it, and a degree that I wanted to do for many years. And Hallam offered that, so he offered me a chance to stay home, train every day, and also play in Division 2 with the Arrows whilst I was at university, playing in books. And then the year I graduated university, the other year I thought it was the right opportunity to branch out and see something new and experience. So you can only go so far if you're in your own comfort zone. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity, good time to get out. And I went up to Bradford and just prematurely finished my second season there. Yeah, so that's about it in a nutshell.
I say it's a great journey, and it's really interesting to hear talk about the importance of you trying to get time to train, also do your degree, and also develop as a player. Obviously, you must, as you said, be around former under-20s S&C coach to Great Britain. And I thought maybe for some young players watching the show, maybe you to offer what has been sort of the best bit of advice that you've received in terms of your basketball journey so far.
Best advice probably. There's probably two. There's one. One's more of a funny one. It's at training when you're younger, shoot free throws instead of shooting from the halfway court during drinks breaks. I always used to get told that, so I always used to go and shoot the ball from the halfway line. But the more serious one probably was always you got to look in before you look out. So when I was younger, probably say about under 14s, 15s, 16s, I would get frustrated really easily and shout and get annoyed at other players, but I'd never look at first. So I was told that you've got to look in before you look out. So you've got to look in, see what you're doing wrong, what you can improve on, before you tell others what they need to do and what they can improve on. I think that works well because if they see you doing something right and not doing anything wrong, then they're more likely to take that advice on board and listen to you and be on a level with you to go, right, yeah, you're right, etc. But yeah, I think you should always look inside, so look at yourself before you look out and see what the team can do.
Definitely, that's some great advice, and it kind of links to stuff I transferably outside basketball. I was given advice what sort of you control what you can control, and I think if you're passionate about British basketball, it's so easy to get frustrated, maybe like the lack of content out there or maybe lack of opportunities. But actually, if you control what you control, you come off better and you feel better about it as well. So it's really good to hear you having a similar life lesson. And I say you're
Yeah.
quite a young chap on a senior men's team. And I thought maybe
Yeah.
like what were your experience so from the junior set to the senior? Like what was the biggest challenge for you, sort of going from that transition from junior to senior within the English game?
Within the English game, I think the jump in the English, if you're going up to quite a high level, is quite a big of a jump. So when I was under 18, well, when I was under 17s playing under 18s, I was also playing and training with the Division Two Arrows team at that time, and it was the full north to south, one big division, unlike it was this year. So you had teams from like all the way down south, all the way to Newcastle. You had it was very strong. It was a strong league in terms of um, National League, and I think the main thing probably was the physicality and the skill level of the players. So when you play in your own age group, and you're good in your own age group, it's quite easy to become quite not I don't know the word for it, quite comfortable, uncomfortable playing against your own age. I think the biggest step up playing against men was the understanding that they've had a lot more experience, they're a lot bigger, they're a lot stronger, a bit faster, a bit more skilled. I think that's the biggest step, competing on a physical level rather than a skill level. Probably the biggest step in learning how to use your body and build your body to be able to take on the men's game. And um, like I said, when I went to university, I think that was one of the biggest things that helped me transition into playing Division One now is the level of S&C and um, lifting weights and training your body to become faster, bigger, and stronger to be able to compete. Because without that, your skills will only take you so far. You need to have some level of conditioning as well, especially the higher up you get in Division One and BBL, and players are high level athletes. You've got the body's right, the nutrition's right, everything. So yeah, I think that's probably the main thing.
And I think it needs a lot of
Obviously, I'm still
commitment as
young as well.
well. Of course. And I think it needs a lot of commitment. Just like you say, you're at that age, you're playing juniors, you may be playing Butch, you're playing D2 or D1s. There's a lot of games, a lot of practice. How difficult is that to sort of balance all of that and have that same sort of rest time for the body to be prepared for the next game, but also keep on with your studies? There's a lot of work to do, I imagine.
Yeah, I think the balance of the school to athlete side was the biggest thing. I think because you're young, your body still needs rest. Don't get me wrong, but it needs little rest, less rest compared to what you need as you get older. So I think the rest element was probably one day, if that, off a week, training and doing some form of basketball or lifting. But I think the biggest balance was being able to do my work and be able to train and get that balance right. But somehow I managed to do it, so it worked out.
Of course, and we're here chatting about it all now. I'd love to talk a bit
Yeah.
about Bucks because I think Bucks level at Bucks is a pretty good level, but also it's in terms of actually people awareness, I think it's quite low, especially basketball. Maybe before you talk a bit about Bucks and sort of maybe the players you come across because you some of them you get to play some like BBL players, but also you get to play guys similar ability, similar journey. So a bit about your journey with Bucks and what your memories were.
Yeah, I think Bucks is a bit of a mixed bag. Obviously, you get your, like you say, you get your players, you get your Division One, your Division Two, your BBL players, but you also get players who are just there at university. So you do come across better players, weaker players. But I think some of the better players you come across, definitely at a Bucks level, it's good and it helps you develop and be able to take that into your National League stuff as well. Take that away and use your books as a way of um, trying to compete and try stuff out and learn new stuff to be able to then take into your weekend. The next weekend you've got after you improve and stuff. So I think books is you don't get many games in books. It's a short season, but I think the level of competition and the amount of time you get to train and stuff whilst at university definitely play a role in your improvement. Definitely.
Definitely maybe give an idea for maybe the top caliber in it. Maybe who was maybe like the toughest player or maybe the highest renowned player that you sort of came across in your time at Bucks level.
Um, I'm not too sure. We had I played on my so obviously at Hallam there's the Sharks as well. So on my team, we had a couple of the Sharks guys playing with them. I think I wouldn't really name. I wouldn't really be able to name one. Just there's quite a few players that are definitely up there, and there's a lot of players that don't really get heard of because they don't play nationally. So like a lot of universities have overseas players that don't play National League because they can't get a visa or the teams around there's no teams around their area. So there's a couple of guys, Americans that I remember playing against the Nottingham team in one of the cups once. They had an American kid, I've forgotten his name, but he wasn't playing on any National League team, but he was a problem. So yeah, sneaky ones like that as well catch you out.
Definitely. I think some of the bigger franchises, they have Americans on their side just for the bucks, as they just want to be at the best side. You'll see guys like Lycoudis who would have gone for the fifth peak possibly this season. But I sort of watching this year, and I've really enjoyed it. I'd recommend people to watch it because, like you say, there's some really good basketball players, some strong teams.
Yeah, there is.
Who maybe don't play nationally. I say it's great to talk a bit about that, and I kind of want to go a bit of a lighter topic. I say we've covered a bit of the heavy stuff in terms of the basketball. And I know you're a big fan of Last Dance, so I sort of get your take on it. What have you really enjoyed? I know you've not watched all of it. I won't spill the bits you haven't watched. Maybe some bits you've enjoyed, or maybe people might not have appreciated it yet. I'm sure there's very few people who haven't seen it.
I think just even whether you're a sportsman, whether you like basketball or not, I think it's one of those documentaries. It's very captivating in the way that it delves into the actual Michael Jordan as a person and the players as people and what drives them, what makes them succeed, what makes them as successful as they are. And I think being able to see that at the highest level possible in Michael Jordan, you can take away things and take away bits from the documentary that you not only can implement in your personal life, in your sporting life, but you can implement it in your personal life as well. So I think for the way they did it was very clever. It's definitely very, very gripping for anyone, not just people who are sports fanatics.
Definitely, and we were talking a bit about the time jump. So initially, I was quite confused by it, but I think it had a lot of context to it. Because I think sometimes we look at sport and we just look at Michael Jordan. And, wow, he's a great player, but actually, Michael Jordan to be a great player, he's got to be good social sports stuff around him, good coaching team, good players. So, yeah, I definitely really enjoyed it. And I know you're a bit of a LeBron fan from what you post on the social media, and I'm pretty sure at some point we'll be watching a LeBron show because that's definitely players nowadays are more in tune to the marketing.
I hope so.
Definitely, and I think it'd be a great
I really
watch.
hope so. I think, I really want a Kobe one and a LeBron one. I'll be happy if I get both of them.
Yeah, I think we all will. But I thought with your, being a LeBron fan, I wanted to sort of pretend I'm a Netflix producer, maybe pitch me sort of 5 big stories around LeBron that you'd think would be really interesting to be covered, and what you'd like to learn a bit more in depth. Obviously, we're not really flies on the wall, but we only know a limited amount. But what do you think would be great to delve into when it's all, when it's ready to come on air?
I think one of the main things probably is impact off the court. With his, I can't remember what it's called. I think it might be Inspire Academy or something at the school that is for people from the minority people and people from low, poor backgrounds and stuff. I think that's definitely one, his influence off the court. Probably also his championship in Cleveland, the 18 where he came back from a 3-1 deficit. Definitely that'd have to be on there. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but the movie that they did on LeBron as a high schooler. I think is it? What's it called now? I think it's the Game Over or something. What's it called? So I've got it on DVD. It's a film of LeBron and the way he came up through school and what he went through during his time at school. But on the basketball, I think that's definitely got to be part of it. And I think just the way he is, he's managed to keep his body in tune and in prime condition for so long. I think that's the secret everyone wants to know. sure there's a lot of people out there that want to know how he's been able to do that without having to spend millions of pounds.
Definitely, I'm sure
So
they'll
yeah, I
make a
think that,
joke on it
and
in the Space Jam
yeah,
movie because they had that juice of Michael
yeah,
Jordan,
definitely,
LeBron juice or something like that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, how
yeah,
he's got this longevity is definitely something I think a lot
yeah,
of people like to hear. But yeah, it's interesting. I think for me, I think what's a great part of the American game is the GOAT debate. And I think sometimes we get a bit hepped up about who's the GOAT, or LeBron, MJ, Kobe. I think at the root of it is a really
mm,
good way of marketing the game for people maybe not known. And I think it's good to have that debate as long as it's healthy. Because I think for me, I was trying to think who's the best. I've got limited knowledge of watching more and developing them. I think it's really hard to because they all play in different eras. It's not just about the players
yeah,
playing this, but also
yeah,
sports, the coaching, the fitness regimes, and
hmm
there's a lot more than just saying one player's better. So
yeah,
definitely
yeah. It's
interesting.
just a lot more than a lot more than what you see on the court. Definitely the stuff like you say, the preparation behind it, the stuff they do behind the scenes. Like you saw in the Last Dance documentary, Michael Jordan didn't really lift much weights until he was getting beat up by the bad boy Pistons, and then turned his body into a temple and took him out in the next series, didn't he? So yeah, I think I try to stay away from that debate. I
Yeah, I think yeah,
I think it's LeBron just because that's my era. I didn't watch up growing Michael Jordan, and LeBron and Kobe are our generation, Michael Jordan. So I try and stay away from that debate. But yeah,
yeah. I think it's good to stay away from it. But I think at some levels it's a good idea in terms of keeping their legacy there and having that.
yeah, yeah,
Actually, but I think, like you say, if you get too deep into it, you end up down a rabbit hole, and it's maybe not as
yeah,
positive.
yeah, definitely.
Definitely, the things you say, definitely things I want to learn a bit more about LeBron. Just to say, definitely his longevity, a bit about the movie he did at high
Hmm.
school, and there's so much to learn about the
Yeah,
players, and I think that's what's really great about the American game is that there's so much content out there, and I really hope, say, 10, 15 years time, British basketball will have that bit more. Obviously, not the same
yeah,
level, but
definitely.
actual enrichment. So I really want to sort of
Hmm.
get to season. I say obviously it's a shame it got cut short, but I think from a safety aspect it's the
Hmm.
right thing to do. So I thought just to start off maybe like what were your expectations coming into the season as a team, because you guys probably would have had a plan coming into this season.
Hmm. I think it was exciting coming to see we had a new couple of new guys in Billy, Dave and Albert. Obviously, Dave and Albert made an impact on the court right away. So did Kenny and Billy. I think coming into the season we had a good squad, but I think it took us longer than it needed to, or longer than it should have, to find our identity. Obviously, we had our core guys from last year, and we had a same scenario last year. We had a very good end to the season and second half of the season last year compared to the start of the season. But I think this year coming into it, pre-season always intense, always great. Coach always puts us through our paces, and we're definitely ready for that first game where we went to Thames Valley, and we were up in the we were up in the fourth quarter. I think for about we're definitely up. I think it was about 10. I think we were up about 10, about 5 minutes to go, and ended up losing by, I'm going to say 2 or 3. But I think from there, we still didn't find our identity. I think that's the main reason why we were up and down start for the first half of the season, just finding that identity, and it took longer than we should have. We knew we had the skills, we knew we had the capability to beat anyone in the league on any given day, but I think that's probably the main reason. It was a bit it was a bit disheartening when we're losing games we should be winning. We know we've got the team and the talent to, but it's just that. And the same goes with all team sports. It's you need an identity, and you all need to be on the same wavelength, which we were. I just think, yeah, it took us longer than we should have to get our identity and find out what we needed to do.
Definitely, that seems evident. Say you mentioned a bit about the form. I think you guys finished 7-4 in 2020, one of the toughest teams to beat. Were there any other factors you felt were behind that? Was it just finding that identity, having that chemistry? What were your opinions on your form? What was it, in your opinion, attributed to?
I think we definitely did find our identity, realise who we were. I think it really helped us getting a big win away at Derby before the Christmas break. That definitely helped us because we're all prepped and ready to get back and put in the work for after the Christmas break. I think that's probably the main reason. That definitely helped us, that win. And I think the main reason was in training. We started to find our identity. We knew what we can do well, what we're not so good at. And I think that's probably one. And confidence was up as well. The confidence levels were definitely up.
Definitely, and that rain you mentioned about Derby is massive because, say, I've been chuckling on about a while, but both you and Derby definitely were the toughest teams to beat. I think you both had better form, but maybe your position was. For you, was that your best individual performance? I think that was your season high of 18 points in that. It was 82-100 wins, so definitely a great performance for you. Was that a particular high?
Yeah, that was it was probably one of the best games I had this season. I think that week I had the D1 Player of the Week. So yeah, that was definitely the game that was up there with the top games. But like I said, even though I scored well, rebounded well, and put up numbers, we got the win as well. So I think that's in our team. Anyone can score on any given day. We've got a
Definitely.
group of guys who can all go off for 15, 20 points on any given day. But we all know our roles, we all accepting of our roles, and I think that's probably one of the other reasons in the second half of the season we were tough to beat.
Definitely, and I say you mentioned about guys' roles. We had Ricky Fetzi on the show, and we'll have more of the guys on. Maybe give the guys a bit of perspective of some of the roles the guys had. Dave Walsh is a really good three-point shooter. Maybe sort of expand on the parts of the game that you really enjoy seeing from your teammates.
Yeah, I think we got Ricky, obviously the big man, can score, can rebound, can defend, all round high energy guy, great guy, all great guys. Richard gives you 20 a game easily. Very big guy in our team. Loves to take a charge and a flop. I hope he's watching this. Dave, obviously, a marksman. He'd pass it to him anywhere over the half court, and he'll shoot it, and it'll go in. Albert was the facilitator, very experienced. So he's won Division 1 before with Essex. He's played a lot in the BBL. So his experience on and off the court was big, very big for our team. We've got Matty and Billy, both young guys, like myself, a bit younger than me though, 1 or 2 years younger. They're great teammates, never complain, always ready to check into the game. As soon as they come in, they're going to give you 100%. Both can shoot the ball, put it on the floor, defend. Jermaine, my guy Jermaine. Anyone in the league will tell you that he's one of the best defenders in the league, and he won't make it easy for you to score. So he's definitely our defensive guy, our main defensive guy. But not only that, he can get to wherever he wants. And Clay Fell is, even though obviously he's played high level NCAA across Europe in the BBL as well. So people may look at the live stats and games, and people wonder why he's not playing. But he doesn't need to play we all know he can play. He's always at training. His experience and knowledge and ethos, and as a team player and team member, his changing room, dressing room, on the bus, whenever we go out, whatever, he's very big at that. And I think that's one of the most underappreciated things about people like that is they go unnoticed to a degree, just because they're not playing all the time. But without him, I think we definitely lost a few more games than we had. And also we had Kenny. Kenny's a very bouncy guy. give you 10 offensive rebounds a game. But yeah, I think as a team we had all the pieces there. But like I said, we had the just need to find our identity quicker, and hopefully most of the guys are returning next year. I'm not sure, but hopefully we get the same group of guys back, most of them, hopefully, and yeah, see where next season takes us.
I appreciate that intro. For me as a fan, I definitely have gaps on basketball I should learn more. But I'm glad you mentioned stats. I really love stats, but I'd love to get your opinion on maybe what's. Because obviously you've got all the common stats, and I say Darren's great for that, and there's a lot of content on that. But in terms of, like you said, like he does, you mentioned one player say he does things people don't notice. What attribute or skill do you think is like the most underrated? To say we talk about points, steals, rebounds. It's just look, there's more to the game than just those stats. What attribute would you say is the most important if you'd have a teammate? You know, wow, that's really great, but maybe the fans or the media don't really champion about to say they're looking at the points or the rebounds. So what actually do you
Yeah,
think
I think it's probably cliche, but it's probably got to be defense. Obviously, defense most other than blocks and defensive rebounds and steals, defense doesn't show up in the stat category. Most basketball heads can tell you that. Like Jermaine, for instance, Jermaine could have a quiet game in terms of stats wise, but he's played 30, 32 minutes. He's guarded the other team's best player for a full 30 minutes that he's played. He's made it difficult. He's limited to him. He's not letting him catch it in their certain spots. He's taken away off the rhythm. He's not letting him get to their go-to shots. I think defense, and it's not just Jermaine. Anyone on the team, I think defense is probably the most underrated because, like I said, other than those stats, it's not glamorous. It's not glamorous at all. It's all the dirty work and the side of basketball that not everybody wants to do. And I think, like I said, guarding people, guarding tough players, the opposition, take it on yourself to not let them get to the spots, take them out of the flow, take them out of the room, slow them down. Even they might be still scoring, but you're making it tough, and they're not scoring at a they're used to. I think it's definitely got to be defense.
definitely? I'm glad you appreciate that. As I've developed my understanding of the game, more I watch it, more I appreciate defense. I think one of the things I really like, and I think it should be championed for, is players that put their body on the line and take that foul because say they're taking, take a blow for the team, as you say, but also actually stopping the other team on the offense. So I'm hoping it's hard. I think until you have like a live stream of every game, I think it's really hard for the media guys to have more of those sort of stats. But I definitely think defense and stuff around that is great, and definitely should be
100%.
more star guys on the team that put their body on the line for the team. Might not stop a foul. The foul might go there one way, but they're actually prepared to put to do something for the team. And I think it's such a team sport, and
Exactly.
I think that's part of the big interest in basketball. It's team sport, fast paced, really enjoyable. I thought we'd sort of break down a bit further into the season. You talked a bit about the form improving, being a great part of the season. Are there any sort of memorable moments on the court that were like highlights for you personally, and maybe as a team as well?
As a team, probably the win at Derby was definitely a highlight. We went in with a game plan. Obviously, they've got Malcolm Smith, Wolford, two high volume scorers, main guys, and Campbell and the Spanish kid. I can't remember his name. But we went in there with a game plan. We knew what players do well, what players don't do well, how we're going to defend them, how we're going to what we're going to do on offense. And I think that we came, just especially to go into a Christmas break with as well. I think because we executed the game plan and every single person, right down to the bottom of the bench, played their part perfectly. I think that's probably the main thing on the court as a team. And obviously, although it was my best game, multiple players scoring double figures and in the 20s as well. So yeah, I think that was definitely the game.
Definitely sounds, let's say, especially when a plan comes to fruition. I kind of think the A team, I love a plan sort of thing. So definitely sounds
Yeah,
good
yeah.
when a plan together and it works well. Any sort of off the court memories, like either from the gym or on the road, that are memorable that you'll look back on this season? Oh yes, that was a good time, or that was funny, or that was a really great
Um,
moment.
I think any bus rides or trainings in the changing rooms before and after, definitely we didn't have anyone who didn't get on, and it was just constant jokes and mick taking and banter on and off the court with the whole team. That I think that just to be a part when the season's over, you understand it more and you appreciate it more because you think, oh well, I missed that. I missed the camaraderie. I missed the ethos of the team. I missed going traveling 4 or 5 hours down to Solent to play the toughest team in the league, but we know that we're going to have fun going down there and on the way back. So yeah, it's the whole team. I mean, not just the players, either the coaches as well. The whole staff, the whole organisation get involved, and it's very family oriented. So I think that's probably the playing for Bradford is the club ethos um, and the family feel to it.
Awesome, awesome. If you had to pick a guy, who would you say was like the sort of the most funniest sort of guy, maybe funniest on the team? Sorry, and maybe who's the best prankster on the team?
I wouldn't say there's really a prankster, but Clayfell. Clayfell's always got something to say. He's always joking about. If someone says something, he'll find a way to make it funny or take the mick or make it rude. He's always you can't ever let up around Clays. And yeah, he's always making a joke or something.
That's great to hear. Like I said, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Great chatting to you. So you've been a great help for the brand. They'll have us for weekly features or a few question and answers. So I really appreciate you helping us out and coming on the show, talking a bit
Yeah,
about
no, it's fine.
basketball. So welcome. I say it's great to have these discussions about basketball through the brand. I think what I'd love to finish on is sort of maybe how you sort of been keeping yourself going through the lockdowns. I think as to on longer, I think obviously more people will find it more struggle when they didn't start. Maybe some advice, maybe some tips that you found useful in terms of getting on and getting part of your day done.
I think, to be fair, I think I'm in better shape because of quarantine now than I would have been if we weren't in this COVID situation. I think normally I like to take a month off for a few weeks after the season, just chill out, relax, get away from basketball, and then slowly ease back into it to the summer where I'm fully going to workouts and scrimmages and stuff. But this year, I think with the season coming to an end, I was able to get that break early, thinking we were coming back to basketball for then the season to be cancelled. So I think I've been keeping my active 6 weeks while the lockdown was very strict. I was making sure I was doing my one exercise a day. So one day I'd be out running a 5K or some interval stuff, and the next day I'd be out walking, and then I'd make sure in the evening. I'd either do that in the morning or around lunchtime. Then in the evening, I'd make sure I'm doing some form of lifting. So in the back garden with some bands and weights, doing some exercises. Be doing a bit of yoga and stuff as well, trying to keep me strengthen up and supple and stuff. So I think one of the main things I could take away from is find something that suits you. Don't you see a lot of people trying to do these fitness workouts run by professional fitness people, and it's just not what it's not at your level, and you're not that's not right for you. Find stuff that you can do in your home, easy accessible, that'll raise your heartbeat, that you'll enjoy, and you can do at any time. Like I know when other than my runs and my workouts, whenever I'm making a cup of coffee or my porridge, my peanut butter porridge is in the oven, I'm doing some press ups and some squats or some calf raises on a step just while I'm waiting. I think just finding your time and doing creative ways to keep it interesting and fun. That's probably the best advice I could give to keeping healthy and stuff
I'm glad
during this
you
time.
I'm glad you mentioned about the fitness videos. So I started that video. I've been really fitter than I've ever been. And I watched some of these videos. And for the first week, I was great. I was doing it every day, twice a day, doing the fitness. Oh, it's easy.
Yeah.
I'm doing really well. And then like, after I was like, oh, I can't do it anymore. And then I had like maybe sort of 3 or 4 weeks. I was like on the sofa, eating too many biscuits, chilling. And like,
Yeah, no.
What's been easy for me is to do what you said. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm sat watching TV. What can I do? Maybe I have to do some wall press ups or just like something that's catered to my fitness. So I'm not a player like yourselves, or just find something, maybe like run on the spot for a minute or so, mix it up. I think that's really important. I think if you try a fitness video, like you say, it's not catered for you unless that's what you do normally. And little and often, I think it's really key. So I'm glad you mentioned that. And say, thank you.
Definitely. I think like these what do you call it? Is it some Pete Wicks? I think like people like that doing these. I know they do different levels of stuff, and most of them probably aren't for levels of people who have for God knows how many years. I think you've got to keep it fun as well. Obviously, if you're like this workout for a week and you're going hard, and then you get to it and you're knackered, and then you think, oh, I can't be arsed, it's not fun anymore. The thrill of it's gone. I think being able to keep that creativity and fun behind it is, same with anything, is definitely the main thing. And just little ways around the house to keep yourself busy and active.
Definitely. I say it was the Joe Wicks one, more levels I was doing, and I thought, how to for kids? I can't do that.
I think Pete Wicks. I think he's off Towie or something. Joe Wicks. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, I know. Definitely, his commitment he has is the next level. I don't think I'm anywhere near that, but credit to people who are still following it and still keeping active like yourselves. What are your plans for next season? I know you said you were hoping to go back to Bradford. Maybe what your aims are for years.
I'm not sure. I'm just taking it a year at a time. I'm definitely back at Bradford next year. Already spoke to coach, spoke to players. Excited to get back. Really missing it. I know we've got the team, and what we've been talking about off the court. We're all in the same mindset that at least we want to get to a final and do something this year. I think it's definitely overdue. With the calibre of players and the team that we are, and we know we can be. I think that's definitely one of the goals, is to make a run at something next year, a real run at something. But definitely back in Bradford, definitely.
I say at the start of this week, I think Basketball England released what I sort of joked a bit about, but it's a sort of plan for plan. So it's glad to see the wheels in place, but to hopefully have an idea of what the steps are. I'm sure it's too early to say, really.
After that, you never know what you're going to get with them. You never know what you're going to get with Basketball England and British basketball. So I look forward to seeing what plan they put in place, for sure.
Yeah. I think one of the funniest things I heard from them last year, I try not to be too critical, because I know there are a lot of challenges to basketball, but they had this rule last year. I sort of think about it now because I'm sat in the chair, and I think it was under 14 coaches. They couldn't. I can't remember what I thought. They weren't allowed to stand up during the game, which I'm sure there was a reason behind it. I'm sure there's a logical reason behind that ball, but actually, step 3, 4, 5, and actually they need to stand up. Maybe I hadn't thought of, but I say it's fun to see.
Yeah, there's definitely. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's it's definitely tough, and there's a lot of challenges that come with being part of British basketball and Basketball England. But there's some things that get thrown about. You think, like you just said, you just think, how can a coach not stand up during a game?
Yeah.
For the full whatever they play, 8-10 minute quarters. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, as I say, thank you for coming on the show, and good luck for next season. We look to see how Bradford get on, and all the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on this. Thank you for having me on the show, and obviously keep up the great work that you're doing for exposure. And I know everyone in the basketball community at all levels definitely appreciate it, including myself. So it's great to see, and yeah, keep it up. Thank you for that.
Thanks. I felt like it is TLC, and I enjoyed it, so I'll continue doing it. And everyone, have a lovely Tuesday evening. Stay safe, and CG Elite is on tomorrow with Coach Krimesh Patel. It's a great show. Goodbye, and have a lovely evening.
All right. Goodbye, you too. Thank you very much.
Nice.